Embark on a voyage into the profound philosophy of Buddha. Siddhartha Gautama, famed as Buddha, journeyed from opulence to austerity in a quest for an equanimity that neither lavishness nor self-denial could provide. His are not just religious tenets, but practical strategies and eternal wisdom, offering tranquility amidst life's turbulence. His philosophical teachings illustrate the ephemeral nature of existence, enlightening us on how to sail smoothly through life's stormy seas. They promote mindfulness, balance, and wisdom, instructing us on the art of living in the present moment and cultivating detachment from the worldly attachments that breed suffering. Buddha's teachings are not just an antidote to suffering. They are the compass that directs us to inner peace and understanding. But how do these lessons apply to our everyday lives? How can we harness Buddha's wisdom to remain unperturbed by external circumstances? How can we cultivate mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom to life's challenges? Let's delve deeper into how these teachings can guide us towards inner serenity and wisdom, and help us remain unaffected by external disturbances. Buddhist philosophy teaches us to act as if nothing can bother us. This is the essence of the Four Noble Truths, the cornerstone of Buddha's teachings. These truths hold the key to understanding life and the path to inner peace. The first truth, known as dukkha, is a profound realization of the unsatisfactory nature of all conditioned phenomena. It's not merely about physical pain or distress. It's the unease we encounter when our expectations are not met, the frustration when we can't control our circumstances, or the void that arises from unfulfilled desires. The second truth, samudaya, provides an understanding that our dissatisfaction often arises from our unquenchable desires and attachments. It showcases how much stress and anxiety stem from our relentless pursuit of success, our obsession with perfection, or our fear of losing what we cherish. The third truth, nirodha, is the cessation of this dissatisfaction by letting go of these cravings. It's about embracing the reality of life, understanding it, and finding tranquility amidst the unrest. It's not about escaping reality, but about perceiving, accepting it. Finally, the understanding of the fourth truth, magga, illuminates the path that leads to the cessation of suffering. It outlines the path of right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Deciphering these truths is not just an intellectual exercise, but a practical guide that steers us towards a path of tranquility and contentment. These aren't just philosophical concepts, but practical tools to navigate life's challenges. By understanding and embracing the Four Noble Truths, we can cultivate inner peace and wisdom and experience the profound beauty of existence. The path to the end of suffering is a journey of 8 steps, known as the Eightfold Path. The first step, right understanding, is about seeing the world as it truly is, not as we wish or fear it to be. It's about comprehending the nature of things, their cause and effect, and the impermanence of all that exists. The second step, right thought, encourages us to cultivate thoughts of love and non-harm. It's about consciously choosing thoughts that promote harmony and understanding, rather than those that foster ill will or hostility. The third step, right speech, guides us to speak truthfully, kindly, and constructively. Imagine how our relationships could flourish if we always used words to heal, not to harm. The fourth step, right action, is about behaving ethically. This means not harming others, not taking what is not given, and leading a life of integrity. The fifth step, right livelihood, encourages us to earn a living in ways that align with our ethical values. It's about making a living without exploiting others or causing harm. The sixth step, right effort, reminds us that spiritual growth requires effort and perseverance. It's about cultivating wholesome qualities and letting go of unwholesome ones. The seventh step, right mindfulness, is about being fully present in each moment. It's about experiencing life as it unfolds, without getting lost in thoughts about the past or worries about the future. The final step, right concentration, is about developing the mental focus needed for deep meditation. It's about training our minds to stay focused on a single object, such as our breath, to cultivate clarity and tranquility. Each step on this path is a guide towards achieving inner peace and wisdom. They are not separate, isolated aspects, but interconnected facets of a holistic approach to living. By walking this path, we can cultivate a mind that is clear, compassionate, and free from suffering. It's a journey of personal growth and self-discovery, leading us towards a life of serenity, wisdom, and deep understanding. Each step on this path is a guide towards achieving inner peace and wisdom. At the heart of Buddha's teachings is the middle way, a path of moderation, away from the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification. This principle, as timeless as it is profound, is a beacon of wisdom in our often chaotic world. The middle way invites us to step back from the precipice of excess, whether it be in pleasure or austerity. It's not about denying ourselves enjoyment, nor is it about subjecting ourselves to unnecessary hardship. Rather, it is about finding a harmonious balance in all aspects of life. Consider the ubiquitous challenge of work-life balance. In our pursuit of success, it's easy to tip the scales towards overwork, neglecting personal well-being and relationships. Conversely, an excessive focus on leisure can lead to complacency, stunting personal growth and ambition. The middle way suggests a balance, where we dedicate ourselves to our work while also making time for relaxation, personal development, and nurturing relationships. Another relevant example can be seen in our consumption habits. We live in a world of abundance, where it's all too easy to succumb to the allure of materialism, overindulging in food, shopping, or entertainment. Conversely, extreme frugality can limit experiences and hinder our enjoyment of life. The middle way encourages us to enjoy the fruits of our labor without falling into the trap of excess. It's a path of moderation where we strive for a balanced approach to life's pleasures and challenges. It's about understanding that extremes often lead to dissatisfaction and unrest, whereas balance leads to peace and contentment. The middle way is not a rigid set of rules, but a flexible guideline that encourages mindful decision-making based on the circumstances of our individual lives. It invites us to constantly reassess our choices, to ensure that we're not veering towards an extreme. By incorporating the middle way into our lives, we can navigate the ups and downs with grace and equanimity. We can enjoy life's pleasures without being enslaved by them, and we can face life's challenges without being overwhelmed by them. By following the middle way, we can lead a balanced life filled with peace and contentment. One of the most powerful tools in Buddha's teachings is mindfulness, a practice that can transform our lives. Mindfulness, in its essence, is the practice of being fully present and engaged in the here and now. It is about being acutely aware of what is happening within us and around us without judgment or reaction. Think of it as a sort of mental notepad, where you jot down your thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they occur. But instead of getting entangled in them, you simply observe them, as a birdwatcher would observe birds, without trying to alter their course or behavior. Now, why would we want to do this? Well, the benefits of mindfulness are manifold. It helps us achieve a state of tranquility, reducing stress and anxiety. It heightens our awareness, leading to improved focus and decision-making. Most importantly, it allows us to cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and our emotions, which in turn fosters compassion and empathy towards others. But how do we practice mindfulness in our everyday life? It's simpler than you might think. Take mindful eating, for example. Instead of mindlessly gobbling down your lunch while scrolling through your phone, try to savor each bite. Pay attention to the texture, the flavor, the aroma. Notice how the food makes you feel. This not only enhances your dining experience, but also promotes healthier eating habits. Or consider mindful walking. As you walk, tune into the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your breath, the wind against your skin. Such simple acts of mindfulness can transform mundane tasks into moments of peace and contemplation. Remember, mindfulness isn't about stopping our thoughts or emptying our minds. It's about shifting our relationship with the thoughts and feelings that arise. It's about acknowledging them without judgment and letting them pass without holding on or pushing away. This practice of being fully present, of grounding ourselves in the here and now, is a powerful antidote to the distractions and anxieties of modern life. Practicing mindfulness allows us to live in the present and experience the beauty of each moment fully. So, how can we apply Buddha's teachings in our everyday life? This question often surfaces when we begin to delve into the profound wisdom of Buddhism. Well, the beauty of these teachings lies in their practicality and applicability to our daily lives, regardless of where we are or what we do. Let's start with mindfulness, a cornerstone of Buddhist practice. It's not just about sitting in a quiet room with closed eyes. Mindfulness can be incorporated into every aspect of our lives. Whether we're washing dishes, walking in the park, or having a conversation, we can practice mindfulness by focusing our attention on the present moment, observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This simple practice can help us cultivate a sense of tranquility and clarity, enhancing our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Next, let's talk about the middle way, a principle that encourages us to avoid extremes and seek balance in our decision-making. For example, when faced with a tough decision, we can apply the middle way by avoiding impulsive actions or indecisiveness. Instead, we strive for a balanced approach that takes into account all relevant factors, leading to a more considered and wise decision. Lastly, the Four Noble Truths offer invaluable guidance on how to cope with life's challenges. Recognizing that suffering is a part of life, we can better understand and accept our struggles instead of resisting them. Understanding the cause of our suffering, usually rooted in our desires and attachments, we can work towards letting go. Realizing that there's a way out of suffering and that the path to liberation lies in ethical living, mental discipline, and wisdom, we can navigate life's ups and downs with a calm and composed mind. By applying Buddha's teachings, we can navigate life's ups and downs with wisdom and inner peace. These teachings serve as a compass, guiding us towards a fulfilling and mindful existence, filled with serenity and deeper self-understanding. As we draw towards the end of our journey into Buddha's teachings, it's time to reflect on these lessons. We've traveled through the realms of Buddha's wisdom, exploring the profound depths of his teachings and their potential to transform our lives. We began by unraveling the Four Noble Truths, understanding the very nature of our existence, the reality of suffering, its origin, its cessation, and the path leading to its end. Next, we ventured onto the Eightfold Path, a beacon guiding us towards liberation from suffering. It's a path that calls for right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. It's a path that, when tread upon mindfully, leads to the tranquility of inner peace and the clarity of wisdom. We then delved into the concept of the middle way, a path of moderation that steers clear of the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification. It's a path that invites us to balance our lives, to live in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. We also discovered the power of mindfulness, a practice that brings us into the present moment, allowing us to experience life fully and authentically. It's a practice that cultivates awareness, fostering a deep sense of connection with ourselves and the universe. And finally, we examined how to apply Buddha's teachings in our daily lives, how to bring these timeless principles into the practicalities of our existence, transforming our perspective and our experience of life. Now, as we find ourselves in this moment of reflection and contemplation, let's consider what these teachings mean to us. How can we incorporate the wisdom of the Four Noble Truths into our understanding of life's challenges? How can we walk the Eightfold Path in our daily actions and interactions? How can we embody the middle way in our choices and our lifestyle? How can we cultivate mindfulness in our everyday experiences? Each of us holds the potential to transform our lives, to transcend suffering, and to find inner peace and wisdom. It's a journey that begins with understanding, that evolves with practice, and that flourishes with mindfulness. It's a journey that calls for compassion, for ourselves and for others. It's a journey that is unique to each of us, yet universal in its essence. These teachings of Buddha are not merely philosophical concepts to be pondered, but practical tools to be applied. They are compasses for our journey, guiding us towards a fulfilling and mindful existence. They are invitations to awaken, to discover our true nature, and to live with intention and authenticity. As you go through life, remember Buddha's teachings and ask yourself, what steps can I take today to walk on the path of inner peace and wisdom?